either by dialing in by telephone or using your computer microphone and speakers. And you can switch that setting in the GoToWebinar software under the Audio tab. Looks like everyone is logged in using their computer microphone and speakers. We will keep everyone muted until the end of the webinar when we'll have a question and answer session. You can ask questions to us live. If you do have any questions during the webinar, please type those into the chat or questions panel, and I will be picking up any of those questions while Kimberly is presenting. So today's webinar is about our ZoomText University in-person training offerings. My name is Derek Bovey. I work here as our Technical Product Manager, and with me today is Kimberly Klein, who is our Regional Channel Manager and is also coordinating all of these trainings for ZoomText University. So Kimberly is going to talk to you today about ZoomText University, so I'm going to turn it over to her. And Kimberly, I will let you have the floor.
All right, thank you. Well, good morning, everyone. So glad that you're here. We're very excited to introduce you to ZoomText University. And we started ZoomText University, it's been a little over a year now. And last year we did 12 trainings. And this year we're slotted to do 25. We've already got quite a few of them on the books, which you'll see as we go through the presentation this morning. So here's what we're going to cover today. ZoomText University, the benefits of the training, what we provide, the course outline, class schedules, cost for the training. We have two different types of training, how to register for the training, student testimonials, and then we also offer CEUs and ACVREP credits. So let's start out with class information. First of all, we offer training in all 50 states as well as Canada. And so you'll see the list in just a bit where we've got some trainings offered. And if you don't see your state on there and you'd like to have a training in your area, as Derek mentioned, I'm the one that sets those up. So you can contact me, and my contact information will be at the end. And basically, we just need to have at least 5 people in a training class for us to fly out to your area and do a training. Each ZoomText University course consists of 1 or 2 days of training. So we do have a 1-day training class and a 2-day training class. And as we go through, I'll kind of describe the differences. The class starts every day at 9 and goes till 4. We do have some short breaks in the morning and afternoon. And then we also give you an hour for lunch, and we do provide the snacks and lunch for that. And I always take in mind if anybody has any dietary restrictions. We happen to be up in Portland right now. We have a training going live this morning. There's 2 trainers because there's 12 people, and I popped out to do this webinar with Derek, but we had a couple people in here. One was gluten intolerant and another one was vegetarian, and we were able to, of course, accommodate that and provide food for them that met their needs.
So Kimberly, this next slide here, I think you already mentioned about the class sizes, a minimum of 5 and things like that.
Okay, very, very good. So as Derek said, I did mention, so it needs to have at least 5. We usually just have at the most 10. However, right now in Portland we have 12. So basically it depends on the computer lab where we're hosting it. We do have computers that we can bring for the training. However, on the larger sizes, we only have 5 computers that we can ship and bring. So if we have a larger class, then we work with where we're hosting it to see if they have computers or if students themselves can bring their own computers. We do close registration about 5 days prior because what we do is we ship everything out for the training. So we provide you a training certificate, we give you a goodie bag, a polo shirt, and some things, so we at least have to have 5 shipping days to get everything mailed out and there in time for the training. All trainings are given by an authorized trainer. We have several at our company. I do some training. Kathy Gettle, who is here training with me here in Portland. Derek as well does training. And then we have Becca also from our office that does training. And then I have 2 separate outside authorized trainers. So we have quite a few trainers because of the fact that some of our classes require 2 trainers. And also we have sometimes classes going on at the same time. You'll see when we get to our April schedule, there's a class going on in Connecticut. At the same time, we have something going on in California. So since we're trying to reach out to so many areas, it's why we have so many trainers. And I always try to match the best trainer for the best scenario. Derek, as you know, because you hear him do all these wonderful webinars, is a great trainer, but he also has a lot of technical knowledge that some of the trainers don't have. So if we have a group of people that are techies or that really want that technical information, then I check in with Derek and see if we can send him to those types of trainings. You also receive a USB at the training, which provides the training curriculum and other class handouts. The training curriculum is almost 350 pages. We spent about 80 hours or more making that curriculum, and it's specifically created for people that have low vision. So of course the font is larger, we picked a certain type of font style, but also we do screenshots. So we teach you something in class, and then we provide you the particular curriculum that goes with it. It has the hotkeys, it has the pull-down menus, and also how to do everything with the mouse. And then we provide you a screenshot. So if you're performing something, you can look and go, oh, yes, I'm in the right area. There's no question. So the curriculum is really comprehensive. The software programs that we cover during the class are ZoomText 10, Office 2010, IE9, and Firefox and Windows 7. Now, we have had some people start to say that, Windows 8 is starting to become more popular, so we have no problem if that needs to be changed and somebody wants training for Windows 8 and Office 2013. The reason we say IE9 is right now ZoomText 10 that's working in Windows 7 only works with IE9. It doesn't work with higher versions of IE. But obviously, if we're training with Windows 8, and then we're using ZoomText 10.1, so then of course we're going to be using IE 10 or 11. So we can customize the classes if that's something that needs to be done. I've even had some people say they want XP training or Vista or whatever they have in their work environment. So, but our general classes and the computers that we ship either are going to have Windows 7, Windows 8, and then of course using ZoomText 10 for Windows 7 and 10.1 for Windows 8. When you're done with the training, you receive a certificate of completion, so if you need that for your work. Now that is not a CEU, so don't get that confused because that's happened in the past. If you're wanting separate CEUs, that's something specifically that you have to register for, and that's different. You would receive a different type of certification and a certificate for the CEUs. Again, I mentioned you get a ZoomText University polo shirt. These are really nice shirts. They say ZoomText University Class of 2014. We'll get your sizing information from you before we ship those so you have the proper size. A training bag and other fun giveaways. We do ask that you bring your own earphones or earbuds to use during the training. We do always bring along some extras, but it's nice if you have your own to use during the training. So here's the different modules for the training. We have Module 1, which is magnification and speed basics. So we go through the actual interface, actual icon by icon, and we talk about every single thing on there. And then we talk about how would you access that if you need to use hotkeys, how would you access that if you need to use pull-down menus, or how you would access it effectively using the mouse. I'll give you a perfect example. The class that we have going on right now with 12 people, 2 of the individuals are totally blind. And you might say, well, if they're totally blind, how do they use ZoomText? Well, they might do evaluations, they might do trainings. ZoomText has the screen reader built in it as well, and about 95% of all of ZoomText can be run with keystrokes. So they're still able to follow along, do all of the things that everyone that has low vision can do. They just might be able to see, obviously, the things that are happening on the screen. But when we have those type of training, I either go, or I have a specific trainer that's really good with verbalizing what's happening on the screen, because of the fact we can describe to them, what's happening, something's getting larger, this is what this looks like, and so they leave the class going, wow, I feel like I could see ZoomText even though I couldn't see it, or I feel now like I can describe that to another individual that has low vision, and I'm much more equipped to do my job. So it's always been very, very positive for people that have very limited to no vision as well to take the class. Module 2 is hotkeys and the basics of Windows navigation. So we do spend some time teaching you Windows keystrokes. Windows B takes you to the desktop. If you're trying to get to the taskbar, Windows T. All of the Microsoft movement commands, Control Home, Control End, all of that. So we spent some time on that, and we were very specific about these are Windows hotkeys versus these are, or I should say Microsoft hotkeys, because we do cover some of the Microsoft ones in general, versus ZoomText hotkeys. We, of course, cover magnification tips and the reading tools, so App Reader, Doc Reader, how to configure those and make it set up exactly how you want it. Keyboard navigation, configuration files. So we actually go in and teach you, if you have a client that wants something set up specifically, you can set it up exactly how they want it, configure it, save that file, maybe call it Mr. Green, and then if you have another person later in the day, Mrs. White, you can set up everything for Mrs. White, set up her configuration file, and be able to go back and forth between configuration files. So we really get into the basics all the way up to a little bit more advanced features. Module 6 is ZoomText on the web, which is probably one of the most popular modules. We show you how to effectively use the web and then how to use ZoomText with it, with our tool for the web, and being able to pull parts of the web into, if you want to use App Reader or Doc Reader. And at this point, we can use IE9 again if we're using Windows 7, IE 10 and 11 if you're using Windows 8. But we can also work with Firefox. So we do have some classes that really say, hey, we just use Firefox in our office. We'd like you to show ZoomText with Firefox, so we can do that as well. We get into using ZoomText tools. So we show you all the new features that are in 10, the background reader, the recorder, the camera, and basically allow you to check out all of those things, use them. And it's a very hands-on class. So you learn something, you practice it, and then you can ask questions. And we do a lot of review and follow-up. We have a lot of fun in the class. We always bring a bag of chocolate. You can't go wrong with chocolate. So if somebody gets an answer right, we can give them chocolate for that. If they're not sure, they can phone a friend. You know, we just have a lot of fun in the class for the 2 days. Module 8 is using ZoomText with other applications. So we, again, maybe pull up Excel, do some things in Excel and Word. And Module 9 people really like too because we have a troubleshooting guide that we go through. So if you're having problems with PDF files, we go through, you know, here's some tips. And we did a lot of this stuff from Derek's webinars. We have an actual file put together called Troubleshooting Q&A, and that's part of the file that you take with you that's on your USB. And if you want a more descriptive background for the course outline, of course you can go to www.aisquared.com/learning/more ZTU outline. So it breaks every module down and what is covered. Here's the class schedule. Of course, a couple of these have happened already. We did the one-day class at CSUN March 17th and 18th. The difference between the one-day and the two-day class is if you're going to take the one-day class, you should have some knowledge already with ZoomText. I wouldn't say you'd be a basic user, more of an intermediate or an advanced user. We don't cover a lot of the basics, or we cover them but very quickly. So we kind of review over something that maybe we would spend an hour in the two-day class. We might only spend 10 minutes in the one-day class. So we give you a brief overview of the basics and really jump into the advanced features quite quickly. And the other thing that we do not cover on the one-day class is we don't get into ZoomText Mac, Image Reader, or if you're not in a Windows 8 class, we don't show off the Windows 8 touchscreen. We're in the two-day class. We cover everything, again, more methodically. There's more time for practice. And then we do show you Image Reader, ZoomText Mac, and then the Windows 8. We don't do a lot of training in it, but we might spend a half an hour showing you Image Reader, answering questions, showing you how it works, and same thing with ZoomText Mac and Windows 8 environment as well. Of course, I'm right here today in Portland doing the class in Portland, which was April 1st and 2nd. Salt Lake City, actually, I will let you know we're going to move the dates for that one. We've had too many things piled. I was going to have to fly from here to Salt Lake, and the class only had a couple people in it, so we decided to move that to later in the year. We've got Hartford, Connecticut coming up April 15th and 16th. And at the same time we have that one, we have Orange County April 15th and 16th. So Kathy Getto will be in Hartford, and I'll be in Orange County, California, doing the one April 15th and 16th. We also have Fort Lauderdale. I was going to say sunny Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and I hope it should be sunny then. We were just in Florida for ATIA in January, and it rained like the entire time. So hopefully it'll be great weather. But that's May 6th and 7th, and that's Kathy going to do that. And then we have Albuquerque, New Mexico, and that's May 15th and 16th, and I'll be doing that one. And then we have Littleton, Colorado, May 21st and 22nd, and one of our contract trainers will be doing that one. So we're looking forward to all of those areas. We also have Burlington, Vermont, which is June 10th and 11th, and someone from our home office, of course, will do that because it's in Vermont. I tried to get them to send me, but it's kind of far to come from Las Vegas, I guess. I always just try to get up to Vermont as much as I can. So we'll have that one there, and we also have one in Mountville, Pennsylvania, June 25th and 26th. Again, for setting up a training near you, please contact me. You can either email me at kkline@aisquared.com, that's KCLINE@aisquared.com, or of course you can call me on the phone. Our main number, 802-362-3612, and I'm extension 152. Here's some testimonials. We do have a whole bunch of testimonials up on our page. But basically, we have a gentleman that took the class. His name is Bob Pervious, and he had already been using ZoomText for quite a while, more ZoomText 9.1, and he was very excited to see all the features in ZoomText 10. He had no idea that it was so feature-packed, and it made him really comfortable with ZoomText 10, and he was very pleased with trainers, of course, because Derek and I did that training. Of course, he was pleased with the trainers. No, I'm just kidding. But we did. Derek and I did the training, and Bob did great in the class. In fact, he was so pleased that at the end of the training, he went ahead and upgraded to ZoomText 10 right there on the spot. And the nice thing about it, it was actually at one of our dealers where we hosted it, and he was able to be, accommodated because he purchased the camera and a few other things as well. So it was a great training, and Bob really did a great job. We also had a Tiffany Minash who attended another training. She hadn't used speech that much. She had mainly used just the ZoomText, the magnification side. So this time she really spent a lot of time because we really do focus on speech a lot during the training. And she was very, very pleased with the app reader, the doc reader, and all the other features, especially using it in the internet. Also, she was really impressed with ZoomText Mac. It's the first time she was able to see that. And she told some friends about the Zoom Reader as well, which we have Zoom Reader and Zoom Contacts on. Those are iPhone apps that we have. So that's not something I normally cover during the class, but we had some people in there that had put those on their iPhones, and they were having some issues running them. Derek's done some great webinars on the Zoom Reader, but if you're not using it properly, you don't get the results that you like. It's kind of like anything, any of our softwares. So I did a brief training in that, and they night and day difference, and then they went and started using it and shared that information with others. So that was really, really cool. We also had a gentleman come out from a college in California, and he had had some exposure to ZoomText. He wasn't a person that needed it himself. He was more using it for individuals at the college, and he felt that the training was well organized, that we were attentive to all their questions. That was an interesting class. I actually was one of the trainers, and we had people at different levels, and we really try to make sure everybody gets out of the class what they want. So we spend some time in the beginning in introduction. I find out, what they're trying to get out of the class, and it's going to be different for everybody. So we really spend time and make sure that everybody's needs are met. If that means that somebody wants to stay after for a few minutes after class ends one day, or I cut my lunch a little bit short, that doesn't matter. What matters is the people get what they want out of the training, and that's what we're there to teach you and to serve you and to make sure you're getting what you need out of the training, and I would say we do an excellent job with that. Enroll today. Unlike other training courses that can cost up to $1,000 or more, ZoomText University is only $399 for the 2-day class. So that covers both days of training. That covers the curriculum, your lunch, the goodie bag, the polo shirt, basically everything. You just need to show up with a headset. If you don't have a headset, we'll give you one of those. So basically for $200 a day, you're getting hands-on training. We fly out to you, and we give you all the goodies. If you want to do the 1-day class, it's $249. We do accept most major credit cards, checks, money orders, and all state authorization. We are running a special right now till the end of May. So if you're to sign up for any of our classes between now and the end of May, you do get our actual, it's not CEUs, but our certification. You can take our certification test, our professional certification test for free, and that's normally $149. So it's a test that you take online, and it allows you to certify the knowledge that you have with ZoomText. So it's really good for those of you that are trainers and you're needing to show, hey, I stand out from the crowd. I can take a ZoomText certification test and pass it, so this is my knowledge level. With that, you get a certificate. we also send you an email. So if you have a web page and you want to put the little seal showing that you passed the certification on your website, you can do that. So that's really good for our people that are doing training and assessments, and of course our dealers and things like that, to be able to show their knowledge of ZoomText. Again, we have CEUs available. We also have ACV REP credits. We do have different types of CEUs for the 2-day and the 1-day class. They both cost $25. We basically pass the cost on fee that the college is charging us, and they charge us a $25 fee for somebody applying for CEUs. If you do the 2-day training, you get 1.2 CEUs because, of course, it's longer. And then if you do the 1-day training, you just get 0.6 CEUs. The ACV REP credits, there's no charge for those at all. And if you don't know what they are, basically your job or your schooling or whatever is not requiring it. Things like the VA, and there's a couple other companies who require that type of certification for people to be training with people that have low vision. We are accredited for that. We went through the process of doing that, so you can get those type of credits. Thank you very much for attending. All of my information is here. Again, it's Kimberly Klein, and Klein is C-L-I-N-E, and then you can either email me at kcline@aisquared.com, or, of course, you can call at 802-362-3612, and I'm extension 152. Derek happens to be in charge of the certification process, so feel free to contact him as well. Of course, he can direct you back to me or answer any questions probably about ZoomText University as well. And he's Derek Bovey, and it's 802-362-3612, extension 108, and then it's DBOVE@aisquared.com. And then, of course, we have our new learning website. Check out our whole new web page and our new face and how everything looks. You'll see our new AI Squared logo at the top here as well. But our new learning website will allow you to get more information. Derek put it up here, and you can go into the courses, the free online webinars that Derek does as well, the certification program, and then, again, the list of classes here. You can actually register for the classes right online, or you can contact me directly if you have any questions, and I can help you get registered as well. Derek's putting up all the different classes that we have coming up. So that's ZoomText University in a nutshell. We'd love to have you sign up, or if you have any questions about anything, feel free to either email me or contact me. Again, Kimberly Klein, 802-362-3612, extension 152, or kcline@aisquared.com.
Thank you, Kimberly. It looks like there's just one other person still logged into the webinar. I think the one other person that was in here figured we were at the end, so I guess she didn't have any questions. So Barbara, if you have any questions for us, feel free to just speak out your question or type it in. Went through quite a bit of information about ZoomText University, our schedule, and all the things that we do. So if you have any other follow-up questions, please let us know. And if you don't have any questions, or if you think of something later, feel free to either contact Kimberly or myself. We'd be glad to help you with any other questions you might have about ZoomText University or any of our other offerings, whether it's our webinars or the certification program as well. All right, well, it doesn't look like there's any other questions, so I'm going to go ahead and end the webinar for today. We want to thank everyone for attending today's webinar, and thank you, Kimberly, for telling everyone all about ZoomText University. We hope you've enjoyed the webinar, and we hope you have a great rest of the day.
All right, bye, everybody.